interesting results over in the Nations League these past few days, but it's about to get a little bit more interesting as we head into match number 4. What's on store? We'll talk about it next. At the UEFA Nations League match day number 4 part 1, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Nations League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to go here under one Ruski. That's right, boys and girls. Of course, over the next couple of days there's going to be some plenty more international football as this international break comes to a crashing halt, but before then we've got some tasty little encounters up our sleeves. We'll get to that in just a second. I want a big shout out, of course, to the Patreons, that's right, for the channel, the VIP exclusive gang, the brothers and the sisters from another mother, supporting the channel behind the scenes. I do appreciate it. There are 20 fascinating fellows and fascinating ladies out there that are supporting the channel, so I do appreciate it. And if anybody else is out there that would like to join the illustrious VIP gang, get stuck in the old description down there, patreon.com/Roverseas. So yeah, we're going to split these next batch of matches, which is aka match day number 4 in the Nations League, over the next 2 days. Small cluster of video matches to predict today, but tomorrow is the big one, the big crunchy one, of course. Let's get into it and take a look at how we all got on last time around. Then shall be, of course. Here we are, Nations League. Of course, we have a very, very live and active prediction league, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. But before... Alrighty there, folks. Of course, first and foremost, we're going to take a look at the games that took place on Saturday, October the 10th. Big day in this house, and it was Luxembourg taking on Cyprus, and Luxembourg came out on top with a 2-0 win at home. They're not the whipping boys anymore, boys. Not the whipping boys. Daniel Snilnani with a couple of goals there to give Luxembourg all 3 points and to continue their progress over in their Nations League C, Group 1. Actually went 2-0 the other way, so shame on me. Same group, Montenegro were victorious over Azerbaijan, 2-0 winners in the end. Stefan Jotovic, former Man City man, I believe, and I got Ivanovic on the score sheet as Montenegro came out on top 2-0. I actually remember the 2-1 win myself, not too bad. Over into Nations League D, Group 1, Faroe Islands and Latvia end up all square 1-1. Actually went with a win for the Faroes. The goal scorers on the day, though, was Ormar Faroe for Faroe and Jankis Indrianikidis on the score sheet for Latvia, as they all picked up a point. No one can separate the two sides. Meanwhile, over in the UEFA League D, Group 2, Liechtenstein Gibraltar ended up as a 1-0 win for Gibraltar. That's right, even a rover was involved on that one. Tajay Dabar was on the score sheet for Gibraltar in the one and only goal. They actually went with the 2-1 win for Liechtenstein. Shame on me. Now hopping back over to Nations League D Group 1. It was Andorra against Malta and ended up as a 0-0 draw. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Actually with a 2-0 win for Malta. Shame on me. But of course the taste of the town was over in Spain. Of course, Spain taking on Switzerland. 1-0 winners Mikel Oyarzabal, of course, with the one and only goal. Actually with a 3-1 win myself for Spain, as they remain top of the group. Of course, over in Nations League A Group 4. And Germany also bounced back to a 2-1 win over Ukraine. Of course, they did take on Turkey in a friendly the couple of days ago, but 2-1 win in the end. Matvias Ginter, Lurian Goretzka, of course, and Resin Milinevsky, the one and only goal for Ukraine towards the end of the game, but comfortable win for Germany, so give them a good old thing. What did I get on that one? I didn't give myself any credit. I've got 1, 2, I think I got myself 3 out of that, which is not great, and in my eyes that is just enough to be in the straight face gang. If you get 0 to 2 though, you're in the shit face club. Straight face gang is 3 to 4 and 5 plus top banana. There might be 1 or 2 of those out there. We'll have a look at it then, shall we? Hans Worst, what did you do? Well done to you, sir. Straight out the blocks, top banana, killing it. Kyle, or just Kyle 17, he did alright. Walsh Design did okay. Anton Solanen also did very, very well, killing it, of course. Football Mapper, not too bad. Linko Kajetovic and Zuga Z did alright. Robert Hollis, not too shabby. Yannick Buster did bits. Oliver Queen 777, not too shabby. Neil Galilei, not too bad. Bianca Muller, well done to you anyway, regardless. You did top in my eyes. We are QPR, not too shabby. Slaven Selt, also killing it as well. Nathan Heaver, not too bad, brother, not too bad. Manayev, excellent show, he did alright. And Declan, he did bits. Andrei Mantjentrovic, also very, very good. Well done to you. Adrian Shishfrischer, not too bad. Orebewi Games, not bad. Ultra over Murik, killing it this match day here. Omar Escaville, not too bad, but you get a round of applause anyway, brother. Jodu, not too bad as well. Matt Gunner did poop. Master Master Fighter did bits. Well done to you. So Gaming Charlie, what did you do? All right, Jonathan Liu also smashing it, aren't you, Jonathan Liu? LG and Cow did bits. Well done to you, sir. Issa also did okay. Shane O'Donnell did bits. Fernando Hezegaramund. Top banana for you. Jan did all right. Craig Desiree also did very well. Minchin Milovic also did good. Costas K, he did okay. Tormund Nicolausson, not too bad. And Bostia Mata did poop. And I think that is it. So this is your leaderboard after this match day. And this match day alone, bit of a stall there, but your leaders were, well, there's a few of you getting 5 out of 7, I think. I don't know why, but only Andrew Dimitrovic is get the crown today. But realistically, Antti Salonen, Fernando Hezegaramund, Hans Wurst, Jonathan Liu, Master Fighter, Slaven Selt, and Ultra Oma Murat all are your prediction kings for this week. So ignore the glitch there, but we're going to roll with it. We're just going to roll with it. He is your leader for this week and this week alone. What about the overall leader in the Old Nations League? Well, here we go. Big old leaderboard coming at you thick and fast. Here is your leader. It's Costas K and Ultra Oma Murat right now leading with a 54% success rate so far. Bossy Matter not too far. Bianca Muller's up there as well. Well done to you. And who else is up there in the top 10? Well, LG Cow just outside it. Anyone over 50, you're doing very, very well. As for me, we'll have to wait and see. But that's just match day number 7. Of course, we're now jumping into match day. What is it? It's not match day number 7. It's part 8. We're heading into part 8 of the prediction league, which is match day number 4, part 1. And we're going to jump straight in the deep end. No mucking about here, boys. No mucking about. Germany taking on the Swiss. Of course, this will be the 53rd time that these two sides have played. 36 wins for Germany, 9 wins for Switzerland, and 7 draws. Yes, that is true. The last 6, though, sees 3 wins for Germany, 2 wins for 2 draws, and 1 win for Switzerland. The last time they played there was a draw, and it was in the Nations League. And it was only a couple of weeks away. Over in Switzerland, it was a 1-1 draw. Ika Gedungeren on the score sheet for Germany, with Slovan Wimber on the score sheet for Switzerland. Last time they played each other in Germany was all the way back in 2007. It was a friendly. It was a 3-1 for Germany. Kevin Kurani on the score sheet, Manuel Gomez and Torsten Frings on the score sheet. Marco Strella on the score sheet for Switzerland in a 3-1 loss. Coming into this, Germany, within the past 3 games, within the Nations League anyway, unbeaten, picking up 2 draws and a win. Last time played each other, of course, was a draw. They need another win, though. Meanwhile, the Swiss have yet to really get going in the Nations League, picking up 2 defeats and a draw so far. The bookmakers, of course, the bookmakers will have their own say on this one. It's 9-4 on for Germany. Of course, they're playing at home. 7-2 is your draw, and 11-2 is your away win. I am a half a German. I like this one, and I'm going to go with my. I'm going to go with my head and my heart on this one. I'm going to go with a convincing Germany win with a 3-0 in the end. They need to start putting on more performances like this because, of course, the Euros will be coming around next year. Believe it or not, finally at long last, and I want them to be in the thick of things. Of course, they picked up the World Cup not too long ago, but I want them to put on a decent display over in Europe, and this could be the chance to do just that. Anyway, same group though. Of course, the leaders are Spain. They're going to be taking on a difficult Ukraine. Now, these two sides will play each other for the 7th time. The previous 6 have been 5 wins for Spain and 1 draw. Their last match was a win for Spain in Spain, also in the Nations League. Sergio Ramos with a couple of goals. Ansu Fati as well, the youngster, and Ferran Torres, the new Manchester City man, in a 4-0 win in Spain. Meanwhile, the last time they played each other in the Ukraine was back in 2015 in the Euro Championship qualifying. It looks like it was a 1-0 win for Spain. Mario Gaspar on the score sheet. Where's he these days? I'm having a quick Google. I'm going to do that live off the cuff. Where is this Gaspar fella? He's actually playing for Villarreal these days as right back. Goodness gracious, 29 years of age, still knocking about. Anyway, of course, so far so good for Spain, picking up 2 wins and a draw thus far. That draw was against Germany, but it's been back-to-back home wins. This one is an away game, and it's going to be tricky. Meanwhile, the Ukraine have opened up with a win and at home. The previous home match was against Germany, which they lost 2-1. But can they get themselves anything out of this game? Well, the bookies think, what do they think? They're probably going to go with Spain on this one. 30-2 for Ukraine, 3-1 on for Spain, 4-1 is your draw on this one. It's a tough one. I'm siding with Spain on this one, but I'm leaning towards something going in favour of the Ukraine. I'm going to go for a draw on this. Maybe it's a little bit, I'm looking at this with German tinted glasses and trying to hope that Germany can come out on top on this one. But I'm going to go with a draw, put my hand on my heart there, and go in with a bit of a limped bias towards Germany. But Spain to draw, Ukraine will be happy, Spain will be pissed. And it will set up a little bit of a tasty crunch clash for that final couple of matches when Germany and Spain lock horns once again. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan taking on Cyprus. Of course, this will be just the second time that these two sides played. Of course, the first time was in the Nations League prior, back in September, which was a 1-0 win for Azerbaijan. The one goal scorer that day was Maxim Mezavanedev, way back in, of course, the 8th of September. Of course, so far, terrible for Cyprus. 3 defeats on the spin. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan, 1 victory for them out of their group so far, and that was against Cyprus, which we already discussed. Heading into this, though, what do we fancy? What do we fancy on this one? The bookies are going to go with, what are they going to go with this? Evens for Azerbaijan, 27-10 for Cyprus. 2-1 is your draw. The bookies going with Azerbaijan. They are at home. I'm probably going to side with that. I used to think Cyprus were going to be a decent side. In fact, silly me, I think they're going to bounce back here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Cyprus. I'm sticking with it. Sticking with my guns. I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been eating my food when I went with that one. But I'm going with a 1-0 win for Cyprus. But if I could do it again, I probably would go with Azerbaijan because form is terrible and Cyprus don't have any right now. Meanwhile, Montenegro taking on Luxembourg. Surprise package so far, but this is going to be a difficult game against the leaders of this group, Montenegro. These two sides played each other 2 times before, and it's been 2 wins out of 2 for Montenegro over Luxembourg. Of course, they did play in the Nations League earlier in the campaign, back in September. It was a 1-0 win for Montenegro over in Luxembourg. Fasto Bakrieli with the one and only goal on the 92nd minute. Christopher Martin's got himself sent off on that match for Luxembourg as well. Coming into this, Montenegro 3 wins out of 3, picking up a win against Cyprus way back when on the 5th of September. Then, of course, they followed up with that goal again, that win against Luxembourg, and then also right here, right now, they're just taking on Azerbaijan. Yet to concede a goal as well. Montenegro looking decent. Luxembourg looking good as well. 2 wins out of 3. Their only hiccup was against Montenegro. Prior to that, but comfortable wins though against Azerbaijan and Cyprus. But can they get something out of this one? Can they pull the wool over the eyes of Montenegro? I doubt it, to be honest with you, but I'm going to see if we've got any odds on this one. I don't think we have any odds. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. No odds on this one, but I probably would fancy Montenegro if I'm honest. If I was a betting man, I would go with Montenegro. And yes, that's what I've gone with. I'm going with a 3-0 win for Montenegro to take it to the bank. And that will put them probably uncatchable at the top of their group, of course. Moving on to Latvia up against Malta, of course. Bit of a stagnant one in this group. Let's have a quick look at those groups here for Malta. Malta and Latvia coming at you out of Group D, or League D, Group 1. Of course, Faroe Islands lead the charge at the moment, yet to taste defeat, but it'll be Latvia and Malta locking horns in this one. Latvia with 3 points, Malta on 2 as of recording. Heading into this, though, this will be the 7th time that these two sides have played, and the past 3 sees 2 wins for Latvia, nothing for Malta, and 1 draw. The last time page there was that draw, and it was in Malta, and it was back in early September. Kirin Nwanko on the score sheet for Malta, and Matthew Guglielmi with a big fat OG, giving Latvia the share of the spoils so far. But so far, so good for Latvia. Unbeaten at least. 3 draws for them. Is it unbeaten? Yeah, unbeaten for them so far. Meanwhile, their opposition, Malta, 2 draws and 1 defeat so far, and that was, of course, against the current leaders, the Faroe Islands. Difficult one to this one, and again, I don't know what the odds are. 17-20 or 2017 on Latvia are your favourites. 2-1 is your draw. 16-5 is your long shots, which is Malta on this one. I don't know what I've gone on this one. I really don't. I've gone with the draw. It'll be another draw for Latvia. That'll be the 4th in succession, which would be pretty good, unbeaten campaign. But they do need some wins if they're going to try and oust the Faroes from top in the table. But for that, it'll be another point in the bag for them, another point in the bag for Malta. But really, no consistency from any of them. And I just can't separate 2 sides, if I'm completely honest here. But the Faroes, though, taking on Andorra, and so far so good for the Faroes. They'll be taking on Andorra for the 5th time. The previous 4 have been 2 wins for the Faroes, 2 draws, nothing on the favour for Andorra. The last time the page there was, of course, in the Nations League, and it was in Andorra, and it was a 1-0 win for the Faroes. Kraliniert Andersen Olsen on the score sheet for the Faroes. Meanwhile, the last time the page in the Faroe Islands was back in 2017. It was a World Cup qualifier, and it was a 1-0 win for the Faroes. Also, another statistic out of the past 3 games, the Faroes have yet to concede a goal to Andorra. In fact, Andorra, a goal shy, in fact. They have not scored a goal so far out in the Nations League in their groups. Of course, conceding just the 1 goal, that was against the Faroes. But so far so good for Malta. 2 wins and a draw. Looking good, looking comfortable. And right now they sit top of the table. Bookies odds on this one, 3-1 on for the Faroes. 29-10 is your draw. 8-1 is your long shots. And that is Andorra. I'm going to stick with the trend, and I'm going to stick with the Faroes. Oh, at least to get a point. I don't know what I'm doing here, lads. I don't know what I'm doing. Go with the draw. Not expecting goals, to be honest. I'm not expecting much from Andorra. I'm maybe expecting a goal-shy evening from the Faroes in this one. Next up on, or should I say finally, is Liechtenstein taking on San Marino. Of course, it's the Juggernauts. This will be the 6th time that these two sides have played. The previous 5 has gone 3 in favour of Liechtenstein, 1 in favour of San Marino, and 1 draw. The last time played each other was in the Nations League, of course, in San Marino. It was a 2-0 win for Liechtenstein. Nicholas Hassler on the score sheet. Yannick Frick as well to give to Liechtenstein a 2-0 win. Last time played each other in Liechtenstein was in the friendly back in 2015. It was a 1-0 win for Liechtenstein. Daniel Kaufmann on score sheet on the 29th minute. The last time San Marino were victorious was all the way back in 2004 in San Marino. But of course, so far, pretty terrible for San Marino. Back-to-back defeats and not yet to score a goal. Meanwhile, Liechtenstein have opened up. Have got 1 win so far. They did lose just the other day to Gibraltar to make it a very, very sticky group for them at the moment. Currently, they find themselves in 2nd spot. Gibraltar, 2 wins out of 2 for them. So they're doing all right. But this is a must-win game for either two sides to avoid the wooden spoon. I mean, class the worst team in European football. Do we have odds on this one? We do have odds. 8-1 on for Liechtenstein, 20-1 San Marino. 92 is your draw. So Liechtenstein are your favourites. And I'm going with it. I'm going with a 1-0 win. It's not big, folks. It's not brave. It's not clever. But I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Liechtenstein to give themselves a big old boost to maybe avoid that wooden spoon. That, my friends, is what I think will happen in part 4 or whatever this is. Matchday number 4, part 1. Of course, we'll have a matchday number 4, part 2 tomorrow. So make sure you stick around for those bad boys. Of course, give the video some love and please smash that thumbs up. And of course, smash your subscribe button. Give me a bang up today. More things. Nations League related. Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa! Football related. Here, booze under Waruski. Of course, if you want to support the channel in another way, please check out the old description down below. Links to my other social media platforms are in there: Twitter, Facebook, and of course Patreon. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the place to be. But can Germany oust the odds here and get their big fat W over the Swiss? And meanwhile, can the Spaniards keep up the heat at the top of the table? That's the big boys that we're talking about in this one. Tomorrow we've got a whole host of games to look forward to. Until then, I'll see you soon.